Share Inspire podcast. This is episode 767. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my studio. If you are joining me live, please say hello. If you have questions for me, please feel welcome to ask. If I have an answer, I will share it. If I don't, I will certainly try my best to find an answer to your question. If you are new to the Create, Share, Inspire podcast, we meet here every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for a 30-minute live stream where you can join in the conversation and you can ask me questions live and you can share your creative projects with other like-minded people. We have a very friendly community here, and if you're new, we'd love to hear from you. For those of you worried about safety, we have 5 moderators here, so we do try to really keep it nice and clean and light here. So a big shout out to our 5 moderators for doing that. I know those of you who have been here a while know how safe and kind our community is, and that's because we work really hard behind the scenes to make sure it stays that way. So thank you to all of the moderators. If you're not sure who a moderator is, when you see the names scroll across the screen, they are the names written in blue that have a little wrench next to their name. So thank you to all of you. And I have been chatting, so I missed the names. Let's see who's here. Hi, Joe. Yes, happy Friday Eve to you as well. Hi, Judy, Shellbell, Lily, Judy, Sandshell, Kat, Pamela. Good morning, Grace and Melanie, Kat, Proverbs, Rita, Christine. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Debbie. Good morning. Proverbs has pre-ordered her book for 24 crochet hats. Awesome. Very happy to hear that. Thank you. Hi, Jackie. Good morning. Hi, Lily. Hi, Rennie. Proverbs loves making hats. Very good. I do too. Hats are so fun, right? And it's not only are they quick and easy, they make great gifts for anybody who can't wear a hat. Everybody can wear a hat. Everybody has a head. Everybody can wear a hat. Hi, Donna. Good morning. And what I really love about the book is that there are so many different techniques represented in there, and everything is sized with the exception of one hat. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to size it or not. But anyway, there's just so many sizes. So whether you choose a hat based on technique or based on style aesthetic or based on construction style, you can still make a hat for anybody because it's so inclusive in sizes as well. Oh, thanks, Judy. Judy has posted a link to the shopping page where you can pre-order 24 Crochet Hats book, but she's also posted a link to the info page as well. And on that information page, you can get all of the detailed information for each hat, including what yarns I used, how much yardage you would need generically for whatever weight yarn I used, and specifically for which actual yarns I used. And it shares information on there for all the different sizes available in each hat. So there's lots of, plus a photo of each project. So you can really get a great foundation and great overall concept of what you will get when you get the book. So I hope you enjoy that page. Thank you, Sharon. Yes, I found another used Lucky Brand sheer blouse on Amazon, not on Amazon, on eBay. I got it for about $10, and a couple of things I love about it. First of all, the color. Second of all, I love how sheer it is, and I love it has an elasticized waistband, which makes it give the illusion of a blouse tucked in top, but it's not tucked in. But if you notice, the print is really what sold me on it. It combines different animal prints. You know I'm an animal print sucker in the first place, but it looks like it combines zebra print with leopard print with a bit of a floral. So I really wanted to really study the geometry of the print and maybe see if I can learn how to combine different prints for my fabric collection projects. So I'm really fascinated by the way this textile designer combined the different animal prints with a floral feel, and I'm just fascinated by it. Plus it has red and pink and fuchsia. Hello. Like there's nothing I don't, that's a double negative, but there's nothing I don't like about the top. Anyway, as I was, thank you, Joe. As I was getting ready this morning, I was thinking, you know how I always give myself crap when I put on my hoop earrings. I'm like, sure would be nice if you made new crochet and knit earrings soon. I do this every morning. And this morning I was thinking there is a pattern in 52 Crochet Gifts that would make really great jewelry for your jewelry. I know we talked about this before, and that is the wine glass charms, the Harlow wine glass charms in here. So what I was thinking is I went out into the garage to look through my bins of sample garments, which is eventually going to be converted into the gift station that we're going to make later this year. But anyway, the Harlow Charms is a standalone downloadable pattern. You can download it on my website for $1.99, or it is a featured pattern in the collection for 52 Crochet Gifts book. And in this, so as you can see, each of these little motifs is attached, you might not see it in these photos, is attached to a jump ring. And then it is that jump ring that is threaded onto this larger ring that makes it a wine glass charm. But if you took it off that larger ring, it's still a motif on a tiny, like 5mm jump ring, which would be great as a charm for earrings. So that's what I mean by jewelry for your jewelry. I would love to be able to use them as little elements for jewelry. And of course I went looking for them this morning and couldn't find them. And that's when I found the Seraphina scarf instead. And I was like, wow, that picks up on a lot of the colors in my top. Would that be too on the nose to wear them together? And I put it on and I'm like, no, it kind of looks like they were made for each other. And I'll take it off in a second so you can see, and I'll talk about the construction of it because it really is a cool construction for a scarf and makes a really quick gift also. So I didn't realize that we were going to talk about two different gifts in this book this morning, but as I was getting ready, that's how stuff happens, right? Sometimes stuff just evolves like that. So I couldn't find the charms, but I really do think that that would be a great idea for charms for earrings. What do you guys think? Because you could still wear big earrings. It still is a nice handmade component. You can take them on and off, so you don't need a whole lot of hoops to be able to reuse those hoops for different looks. I think the star, let's go back to it real quick. I really think the stars would be fun. I think the hearts would be fun. Where is it? Hold on, let me find it again. So there is a bow tie, there is a butterfly, a star, a heart, and a flower. Like all 5 of those would be great on their own as an earring embellishment or jewelry for your jewelry. I don't know why I think that's funny. But what would be also fun is to maybe make a couple of them, like maybe do the star or maybe do the heart or the flower and do them in different colors and then add a bunch on here. They're so light. These earrings are light and these charms are light. So you could actually add a few and not add much weight to your earrings, which, you know, we like that because we have, at least I do, I have stretched out earlobes. So anything I can do to keep earrings big but light is obviously my first priority when designing jewelry, designing earrings anyway. If you don't have that issue, never mind. Hi Sharon, hi Angela, hi Donna. Donna and Donna, 2 Donnas came at the same time. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. Welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast, episode 767. Can you believe we're approaching 800? So what have we got left? We've got 33 episodes left, 33 divided by 5, a little over 6 weeks until we hit 800 episodes. Have I heard of earring jackets? They go behind the post but in front of your lobe. Oh, something that just you would see it right here. Yeah, that's another idea we could play around with too. Putting something in between the earring and your ear. Is that what you mean? Judy's posting a link right now to where you can find these hoop earrings on Amazon. Whoops, I made a mess. Whoops. Okay. So the hoop earrings, I find these on Amazon. They're a great deal for costume jewelry. They are costume jewelry. They're just plated, and I buy them in the 3-pack of rose gold, yellow gold, and silver. But I love the size. I love how light they are, and they are a really good deal. And they make great components for making handmade jewelry too. Hi, Trina. Good morning. Hi, Linda. Good morning. Does anybody have any questions about what I've talked about so far? I never did get that pain out of my back yesterday. Turns out I had a pinched nerve in my neck that was shooting pain into my shoulder blade, and I was up most of the night last night, uncomfortable, and I just kept stretching and just kept trying to get it comfortable, and it turns out around 4 o'clock this morning, I think I finally released it, and so I slept from 4 to 6. Yay! Well, the good news is I got rid of the pinched nerve. Thank God. That was miserable. And having that on top of my foot acting up, I mean, I was just hobbling around pathetic yesterday. So I'm so grateful that I got rid of that. But it meant I was pretty slow about working on anything else yesterday. I did not get nearly as much done as I wanted to. Sandshell's been looking for inspiration to make something, and she thinks it'll be earrings now. Great! That's wonderful. If you already have the Harlow Charm earrings pattern, or if you already have 52 crochet gifts, you're ready to go. You could make them with the smallest amount of yarn. So you could start with the charms like I'm going to do, or there are lots of other earring patterns. I think there's some earring patterns in here, and there are also earring patterns in 80 Handmade Gifts. And if you want to just search by jewelry patterns on my website, you can search jewelry patterns in either the knit or crochet shop. In the new website, it will all just be one shop, and then you can search by crochet or knit or jewelry, or you can combine your search filters. You already have this book. Great, then you can start by making those. Oh, Pamela, sorry you fell yesterday. Hopefully you feel better soon. Sandshell, if you, what was I going to say? I think I was saying something about maybe she could start making the earrings right away. Hi, Gina. Good morning. Hi, Lucy. Good morning. Yes, it does take a little longer the older we get to get over stuff. Unfortunately, that is true. I was definitely feeling my age or older yesterday. Hi, Sherry from Kokomo, Indiana. Hi, G. Good morning. I would also like to make some embellishments for ponytail holders too. Maybe not to put right on the ponytail holders, but something, this is the other thing I was thinking of when I was getting ready this morning, is that going back to that same pattern again, the Harlow Charms. Let's see, where was it? I think it was back here. I suppose I should put sticky notes in here. Pretty sure. There it is. So I was thinking that maybe the flower or the butterflies would be really cute to put on a pin of some kind. I don't really want to put it on the ponytail holders that I fasten my hair with because I wrap them so many times. I'm afraid I might manipulate the motif too much. I don't want to mess with it too much, but if I put it on one of those, like on a bobby pin, and then push the bobby pin up inside the ponytail holder, I thought that might be cute. Wouldn't it be cute to see a little flower on the edge of either one of these? Or maybe put it on one of those clear ponytail holders that don't wrap multiple times, they just go on. But yeah, there's those pins. I've bought them for other designs. I've made flower pins. Let's see if I can find it. There's a flower pin. It's probably under jewelry, under crochet patterns on my website. Let me see if I can find it because I can't remember the name of it. Let's see. Let's look by jewelry. It's a flower pin. Let's see if I can find it. It's not there. I will have to look for it then. I'll have to look for it, maybe under accessories. No, it's okay. I got to work on that because there's this straight pin that I found on Amazon that has a little rhinestone on it. And so I was able to just slide the flowers onto it and put them in my hair. And those same straight pins that you put in your hair. Okay, if you remember the movie Funny Girl, do you remember Fanny Brice when she goes into the train car to have dinner with Omar Sharif for the first time? Do you remember how when she's getting ready with her assistant and she's like, I'm not going to dinner, and she keeps putting those flower pins in her hair? Those are the pins. They're straight pins that come, they're like bobby pins, but they're straight and they come up and come back down. Judy found them in my Amazon shop. Awesome. And they have the ones that I found have a little rhinestone on the top. So they'd be cute to put in your hair on their own. But what I did was took little flower motifs and slid them right onto the pin. So when you have it on the pin, you would see the rhinestone center, and then you would see the flower behind the rhinestone center, and then you would put them in your hair. And yes, they are completely inspired by Fanny Brice in Funny Girl. I love that scene when she's like, I'm not going to dinner with him, as she continues to get ready to go to dinner with him. I can totally relate to that. And so anyway, I think that might be, with a smaller flower, might be a good way to add embellishment to the bottom of a braid right there too. I think so. I love that movie too, Lucy. I love the soundtrack. I sing it all the time. I love, love, love that movie and the music. It's so good. Thank you, Judy, for the links. Sandshell's been looking for those pins for over a year now. Now, I know that the actual pins are in my Amazon shop in the craft section because I put them in there for the pattern. I'm going to have to find the pattern, though. I don't know what I did with it. I'll find it, and I'll make sure that it's up on my website before we go live tomorrow morning. I'll work on that as soon as we finish the podcast today. Debbie's used them before in French twists. Yeah, they'd be great in French braids. They're great in French twists. I forget what kind of hairstyle Fanny Brice had in that scene, but it was definitely one of those elaborated, like a really elaborate updos. And so she probably had lots of curls, and she was able to it was a lot of hair. I couldn't really do the hairstyle that she did, but I'm sure I could come up with something, appropriate for my type of hair and appropriate for 2021, but I would really like to do something with butterflies and flowers. It would be really cute. Debbie loves that movie too. Yeah, I love that movie. Hi, Carrie. Glad to have you here. You slept in. I'm jealous. I would have liked to sleep in. I only slept a couple hours last night, so hopefully you slept for me too. Sancho used to wear French twists, but she just cut her hair into a short layered bob. Well, that's fun, and guess what? Hair grows, so you could always come back to that. I mean, I'm kind of in the mood for cutting my hair as well. I feel like it's getting really thin at the ends again, and every time it does, I think it's time to just cut it all off again. But I will miss my braids and my updos and things if I do that, so I'm still conflicted. But it is fun to cut it all off and have thick hair again too. So enjoy that while it lasts, and you can always grow it back and do your French twist again. Hello, baby King James. How are you? Hi. Hi, baby James. That's so sweet. I love saying hi to extra people. So anytime you have extra people joining you, please always ask me. I'm more than happy to give shout outs. That's so fun. Oh, he's smiling. That's sweet. Mwah. remember Erica comes here with her parrot Picasso too, and it's so cute because Picasso responds to me saying hi to him as well. I think that's adorable. Oh, I was going to show you my scarf, so I guess we could move on to that now. So this is the Seraphina scarf. You can find it as a instant download pattern on my website. You can also find it as part of 52 Crochet Gifts book. So you can find it either way. It is a one ball project with Be So Sporty bling yarn. And what's really unique about this pattern is that we start in the center and we actually work in the round like an oval. And so that's what makes this go so fast. I think there's only like 3 or 4 rounds to it. Let me see, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 rounds to the scarf. So you start with your long row of foundation ovals, and then you come around and work around and work around and work around. And it's really quick because of that. If you were to work in rows back and forth, it would take much longer. I'm not sure why that's the case. I guess we'd have to really dive in and talk about it a little more, but because of the looseness of the lace, and Grace did a fantastic job of blocking the scarf. I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm glad somebody had success in blocking the scarf. I did too. Anyway, it's a very quick project, and it's really fun to do because you get to see it turn into a scarf when it looks like it's just a skinny cord to start with. So if you've never done a scarf in the round like that, Grace, I want to know, what did you do? What did you do special to block yours? It sounds like there's a good inside story here. If you want to share it, I'm sure other people would like to know too. Any advice on turning crochet into a full-time business? Ooh, that is, let's see, well, Gina, what aspect are you talking about? Are you talking about selling items? Are you talking about being a designer? Are you talking about, oh, good. Oh, Grace's just was very well blocked. I see. Okay. Sounded like there was inside story there. Okay. I got curious. Thank you, Thank you, Lucy. Okay. So Gina's asking advice on turning crochet into a full-time business. I would like to know what part of the business you are interested in. Are you looking to be somebody who sells patterns? Are you looking to sell, you're looking to do custom designs and sell some locally? Well, that's probably one of the hardest ways to actually make money. If you're looking to, like, sometimes people sell items to supplement their craft hobby, right? So you make things, you have enough money to rebuy yarn, and it gives you something, it gives you something to do other than make too many things for yourself, so to speak. There's that, but then to actually do it to make a profit is extremely difficult because crochet by nature and knitting are labor intensive. And anytime something is labor intensive, you will find that it is extremely difficult to get to be able to sell something for the amount of money it costs to make it when you include the cost of labor. So it's a very difficult business to be in unless you find the right clientele. I know that there are people out in California, in the Los Angeles area, who make sample garments for costume designers for movies and TV, and they get top dollar for their knit and crochet sweaters. And even if you can get involved in some really high-end boutiques, in the nicest boutiques in the biggest cities, yes, sometimes you can get $800 to $1,200 for a sweater, but that's what they're selling retail. So you still have to keep in mind that they're wanting to get half of that from you. So then even $800 to $1,200 retail would still only be $400 to $600 wholesale, which would then have to include your cost of goods, what you spend on yarn. So let's say you spend $100 on yarn, then you're talking $300 to $300 to $500 for you. And if it took you 80 hours to make it, you know, you do the math. It still ends up being not a very good living for something that, what is that? What, 300 divided by 80, 8 times, well, it could all, I mean, that would be the dream job, and then you're still only talking about $30 some an hour. Now, is that a good wage? Absolutely. That's assuming that you have customers that just want unlimited stuff from you too. You still have to think about marketing, finding those dream customers, and the majority of people aren't willing to spend $40 an hour, $30 to $40 an hour for you to make stuff for them. Unfortunately, it's just not the society that we live in that they can appreciate labor. That's one of the reasons why I started there and started making custom for boutiques, and I found that I could not keep up with the demand as well as make a profit because there just was too much labor involved. And that's when I went into pattern design instead and started trying to find my way in the craft industry rather than in retail fashion industry. And even though it made sense at the time to make something once and try to sell it over and over again, the ticket price is way, way less. You have to sell a lot of patterns to do that, which means marketing and finding a place in the marketplace is still extremely important. And there are a lot of other people out there doing the same thing. Just go look on Ravelry, look on Etsy, do a Google search and see how many people are selling patterns or giving them away for free. It's not an easy business. But if you find the right customers, Gina, I think that you could do well. I don't know where you live. I don't know what kind of customer base you have or what kind of marketing you're doing, but you could certainly work on marketing to the right customers. And there are people out there that do appreciate handmade goods and will pay for the labor cost of it. But that's the rub. You have to find a niche market that will appreciate the labor involved. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth your time to even attempt to get into the custom design business. You really have to consider labor. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. I hate to say that, but it's true. I would never want to be the person that says, oh, it's all rainbows and unicorns and everybody should do this. Gina, she's in North Carolina and she was doing hippie fest type craft shows, but not with COVID anymore. And Gina, were you getting high enough prices that covered the cost of your yarn and the labor cost of giving yourself a decent wage? Were you getting at least $10 an hour for how many hours it took you to make things? Were you making $15 an hour? Were you making $20 an hour? I'd be really curious to know if the retail prices you were selling at your craft festivals, minus the cost of the booth, minus the cost of whatever other whatever other costs were involved in having that booth, what ended up being your labor cost? And if you want, I can pull out the board so we can talk about this a little more in detail, or we could even do it on another podcast, because there are a lot of hidden costs involved in business too, like that cost of your booth and all of the display items that you bought for your booth. Those have to be taken into account as well to really decide if you made a profit. And if you're not making a profit, it changes everything. Like it's really exciting to make $50 cash, right? Oh my gosh, somebody paid me $50 for something that I love doing. Okay, great. That's fine if it's just to supplement your hobby. Fine. And that's fun. Yay, $50 cash, whatever. But if you're thinking about a business has to make money so that you can afford to pay your bills and eat and live and keep a roof over your head. And so it just depends on which avenue you're coming from. Is this going to be your full-time job? Do you have a safety net? Do you have something else going on that can help pay your bills? Do you have a spouse? Do you have money in the bank? Like, there are things that are really important to decide first, because the profit margin is very, very, very tricky in that industry. So I asked a couple more questions, so let's see if Gina answers quickly. Well, Pamela's soap business is a lot less labor intensive than crochet, so that's a little different. Gina, almost triple what it cost me plus labor. Well, even the way you worded it, it sounds good, Gina, but I think we'd have to really put it down on paper and see if it would depend on like what you're making. And like if you're making sweaters and they take 60 hours to make, that's not covering your labor. But if you're talking about the labor of being at the show and what it cost you for the show and what it cost you in product, meaning yarn and stuff like that, to clear $600, that's very exciting and that's wonderful. I'm just curious if it really covers the labor of actually making all the items that you sold for that amount, because I do feel like that's where it really adds up. Now, unless you're making jewelry and skinny scarves and little tiny things, if you're selling shawls and selling bigger items, I fear that you may not be counting all of your labor cost. But if, let's see, I know we've gone a little bit over, but if Gina's willing to give us a little more information, I could see what else I can come up with. And good point that I'm glad Pamela brought up that she did a soap business for a long time. Keep in mind, soap, once you set it, it has to sit on its own and cure. It's not labor intensive. It takes a long time for it to cure, but it's not labor intensive. You can be doing something else making money, whether it's a job or working on another component of a business. But with crochet, it's hands-on and you have to be making the whole time. And that's what makes it labor intensive. And that's what makes that soap business so much different than the crochet business. Hi, Edna. Okay, I'm not seeing another question from Gina, but we can certainly come back to this topic. I would love to be able to help people. And Gina, okay, Gina does a little bit of everything. Headbands, vests, ponchos, hats, bags. Gina, do you have another job? Do you have a husband or somebody else paying bills as well? And we might have to pause this to sign off for today and come back to this another time. If this is a subject you would like to see me cover more depth on the podcast, please come back and leave me a comment in the fixed comments today. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you would like me to talk about the business side of knitting and crochet a little bit more, I'd be happy to do that, but only if you're interested. So not in the live chat, but come back and leave a comment in the fixed comments when this becomes a fixed video and let me know your thoughts on talking about knitting and crochet as a business, because if you are interested in that, whether you want to do it or not, it can be interesting. So if this is something you'd like to see me talk about on the podcast, I would be more than happy to dive deeper into this. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed all the show and tell, all the ideas, chatting with me and everyone else here. Without your comments and your questions, this show just would not be the same. I appreciate you all so much, and thank you so much for all of your feedback and your questions. I love it. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.